Hey everybody, it's Durger time. Thank you again for joining me for another game of Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. We are at episode 1, for real, I suppose, of our Total Extreme Wrestling campaign. We were playing Billy Corgan's NWA. Now, I had to restart the game a little bit because I had some good recommendations from some viewers. We've noticed that we had some characters that were not in the game. Things like Tony Schiavone. Why aren't you in the game? Why aren't you in this mod? You're wonderful. I know he actually left wrestling commentary for, I think, minor league baseball or something like that. Well, we brought him back. We brought him into the game. So our momentum is down a little bit from where we started, which is a shame, because we started at, I think, like A+ last game, which would have been so monumental to boosting it. But, you know, B's not bad. We'll do okay. So before anything, let's take a look. We've finalized the roster. We have a show going on. But let's take a look at the roster list here. So we got about 20, 25 people in here. Some of these guys are just going to be, performance enhancement talent, some characters that are going to be putting other people over. But let's take a look. So we got a couple main eventers. Bobby Lashley, Eli Drake, of course, Nick Aldis, who's our current champion. He's set as a heel in the game, but we're definitely going to start him as a face, because I think he's a face champion for NWA. At least for now. That might change. Ryan, the Silverback Reeves, who is Ryback, so hopefully he won't drop anyone on their heads and murder them. Stu Bennett, James Storm. A lot of heels on the top card. A lot of heels actually all over the card. This is basically just a league of heels at this point, but that's fine, because that just is more competition for our faces to overcome. Who else do we got here? We got Bull James, Candice LeRae. We brought some other people in for lower card that aren't really well known, or at least not to me, but they actually seem like they had pretty good potential. Some like Chris Dickinson's here. Strong entertainment value, strong brawling. I think we might be able to build them up. Of course, we got Dalton Castles is kind of our mid-carder. We got some champions here. We got Josephus, who actually wasn't in the game, who's having a big run right now in NWA in the 10 Pounds of Gold video series. He's got this kind of weird, he doesn't have a gimmick. He's kind of like a weird cult leader, and that's something we're going to play off of. So let's add a thing here right now. Let's see, weird sounds about right to me. So what we'll do is we'll add a gimmick to him. Weird, heel, exclude, let's see. Pyromaniac, spiritualist, acolyte. Spiritualist could work. Occult, there we go. That is what, it's a lot of subtlety. Can you pull it off? I hope so. So we're going to go ahead and put you in there. We have also some other people in here that we've gotten in. Marty Scroll. Wink Vavasser, who had an awesome run in 2012-2013 in Chikara as the director of fun, where he actually tore down and made this show go on a hiatus. We brought him in to play a character that's going to be an antagonist for Billy Corgan, at least the antagonist of the character Billy Corgan's going to play. And we're making him Paul Pinky George III, and that is the grandson of the founder and first president of the NWA. So we're going to have some fun with him, because that's going to make a nice foil for Billy Corgan, I think. We've got Rachel Ellering, Rory Gulak, Sammy Callahan, Ryan Nemeth, another lower mid-carder with some great stats. We might be able to build up to have some loyalty. Serena Deb, Santana Garrett, Stu Bennett, Emma Tennille. We'll keep her as Tennille, I think, but I don't want WWE suing us if we name her Emma. That'd be bad. Tim Storm. Now, Tim Storm's got a difficult path here, because he's not great in terms of stats, but he was the former champion, and I definitely want to play off of that. So maybe we can get him pushed up to higher on the card. We don't know. Tony Schiavone. Trent Beretta, Tyler Bate, and Will Ospreay. So we had a few more bigger named people that we were originally looking at, but I think I am going to hold off. I actually withdrew some of their contracts because I think we'll use them later. I think we have some bigger names that are going to cost us a lot more money now, and I think I'd rather use them now, and we can always introduce some more people later. Remember, our plan here is to grow, and in order to grow, we're going to need some big names, but we also, money, I mean, $482,000 isn't going to be bad. We'll have to see what we look like in our first show. Now, what we're doing is we do not have a television show. We actually have we're doing a bi-weekly schedule. Very similar to like New Japan right now. So we have NWA, The Road to Championship Wrestling, and NWA Presents Championship Wrestling. Right now, they are both 2-hour shows, and we will use one to build up a story, one to pay it off, but we might do some multi-month stories. I think we can afford this for now, but we can always kill one if we need to. I'm not comfortable yet getting into a television show weekly. I don't think our roster's there yet, and I don't know if we would drain our money too quickly. We'll have to see what our broadcasting looks like. Now, on the broadcasting, we do have our events as an on-demand license with the CW, which is a CBS corporation. They are generally neutral to wrestling, so they're not going to give us that much of a problem, and the minimum quality for on-demand is pretty low. Our other options were like Hulu Plus or YouTube or Twitch, but this was the only medium size that we had for broadcasting. So I think that's going to be helpful for us to grow. And at this point, if we start to branch off, maybe we offer a show as well. Maybe we kill one of the events and just start doing weekly television shows and then do a pay-per-view. For now, we're just going to do events, and we'll just run it on demand. Titles, obviously, we still have our 4 titles. Your junior heavyweight, which is currently vacant. World heavyweight, Nick Aldis. World tag team, Sigmund and Elliot Russell, who unfortunately Sigmund just had, I think, a neck injury, broken collarbone. So right now, at the start of our game, we do not have a tag champion out there. I'm not going to vacate the titles. I'm going to let them ride it for now because we're going to do some other things. I think we'll just push 2-hour shows a lot to push four belts. So maybe we focus on junior, maybe we definitely going to focus on world and probably women's, and we can give Sigmund some time to rest. Before we get started with the show, let's take a quick look at our creative meeting. Let's see what we're looking like. So franchise players, Bobby Lashley, James Storm, Stu Bennett, Reeves, and Eli Drake are all kind of our top performers. Now, what we're going to do, though, is we're going to feed a lot of these guys into some of our younger talent. These guys are all getting up in there, and honestly, they do not have loyalty to the NWA, and I would be concerned that at any time these guys could get scouted out for an exclusive contract somewhere once their terms are up, and I don't want that to happen. I don't want to lose our big franchise players and have nobody in the wings. So a lot of these guys we're going to feed, I think, into Nick Aldis. He's the champion. He's got a lot of potential, and we can have some long runs and a good rub from them. Next big things. Oddly enough, Ashley Vox is our only next big thing, but she's also probably the youngest that we have on our show. Hot prospects, Emma, Will Ospreay, Marty Scurll, Ashley, Rory. Are you surprised at all? I'm not. Best talkers. Oh, yeah, we brought Raven in. Raven's going to be our road agent, so that's going to be cool. A commenter on the previous YouTube video told me something I didn't know, which apparently Raven and Billy Corgan in real life are actually really good friends. So why wouldn't you do that? That sounds awesome. He's got a great amount of experience. He understands it. He's got great psychology. Let's bring him in. Showstoppers, again, not really a surprise. Jimmy Jacobs is kind of a surprise. The zombie princess himself, which should be pretty cool. We're going to do some fun stuff with Jimmy Jacobs. I love him. So happy that he left the WWE. Unfortunately, he had to get fired to do it, but he's a great writer, but he's an amazing performer as well, so it'll be really great to have him on the team. Ring generals, Sami Callihan, Serena Deb, the usuals. What's hot? Nobody yet. Who's not? It's good. Nobody yet. In time decline? Well, all the big franchise players and Tim Storm. So, again, we can't rely on these guys. We're going to have to push people. And hidden gems. These are people that are out in the world that maybe we want to look at. I don't think we're going to look at any of these guys right now. I think we have a good roster, but maybe we'll scout some of these in the future. So, let us put a break in here. We're going to go to the first show. We're going to play through it, and we're going to see how it goes. All right, so stay tuned. All right, and we are back for our first show of NWA Presents Championship Wrestling. So let's take a look at what we got here. Obviously, we got some injuries, which is really bad already. As we know, Sigmund was out with a collarbone injury, and Trent Beretta, who I just signed, got out from something. I'm not sure what it was. I didn't see. So this is really bad because that's basically half of our tag team division is now unable to fight for a certain period of time. That's not good. So that's going to change some of our plans, and we'll have to look at it for future shows. Maybe we'll have to break them up. I don't know. We'll have to see how long our injuries are. We'll look after this. So, backstage ratings, not great, not bad. Everyone's a positive influence. You know, Ryan Reeves and Stu Bennett have a great relationship from their time WWE. Unfortunately, I have no locker room leaders. For some reason, my backstage rules are having a negative effect, and my lack of leadership as Billy Corgan is harmful. Not surprising. I mean, he's a singer, not a leader. He's not, run this business before, so I guess it kind of makes sense, but this will be having an impact on us. We are running this on demand on the CW, which hopefully will give us some good coverage. Maybe we'll get some fans from here. We're going to have 3,400 fans, and I believe we're going to be at the St. Joseph Civic Arena, which is going to cost a lot of money. I just was looking at it. Its capacity is 3,800, so we need it. I mean, because that's what we're expecting. It's in Missouri, which is a good spot for us because I think we're in the Midwest and where we started. But man, it's going to cost so much. It's $11,000. I'm really concerned about how much money we're going to blow on these shows. We'll see. It's not going to be good. All right, so let's start and let's take a look at this show. Hopefully, it comes out okay. I'm not sure how we're going to do here. I'm really concerned about that money, but let's see. Let's see how the first show of the new NWA goes. All right, and we start off with an angle between Billy Corgan and Paul Pinky George III, which is, Billy Corgan comes out and thanks the fans. Pinky interrupts him and just completely disses the show. Basically, he comes out and he's like, Corgan, you don't know what you're doing. This is my grandfather's company. All you people are here are idiots. I don't know what you're doing here. The show's going to be horrible. You people are horrible. The typical heel thing. It gets an E, which is okay. Neither of them are going to be that great entertainers. And we're going to be doing stuff with them, but it's not necessarily going to be involving them directly in the future. But, I mean, sometimes we're going to need to do this, and it's going to take a bump here, I guess. It's gotten a rating of awful. Oh, that's really bad. Corporate suit gimmick is not working in his favor. We'll have to look at changing it. Maybe we could make an air gimmick and kind of morph him into something better, because that's really going to hurt his performance. Owner versus founder storyline has started with the segment. Now we're starting to move up. So what else we got going on here? Let's see. We just have a opening match. Oh, an F. Oh man. Oh, this is a bad idea. About had terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat. Elliott Russell, who's one half of our tag division, or our tag team champions, I'm sorry, defeated Kahagas in 6 minutes by pinfall. They have good chemistry, though. That's interesting. They were turned off by the match between jobbers on the main show. Well, he's not a jobber, damn it. He's one half of our tag team champions. Well, I guess this didn't go well. We do have some gimmick changes, which I think is for our announcers. We just needed to give Tony Schiavone something. I think we're going to change his gimmick. Let's go ahead, gimmick change. He's going to become a sportscaster. Very good. I would hope so, because he's a sportscaster. Like, what else would you expect him to be? So here's another angle. We have Tim Storm in an interview, and he's hyping up a new match tonight with Rory Gulak, saying, I might have lost the belt in December, but I'm going to prove tonight that I'm still a contender. Everyone on the internet keeps on telling me I should retire. I will not. And I will prove tonight why I shouldn't. So, it got, E-, not great. He's got bad ratings everywhere, though. That's not surprising. We do have a gimmick change. At least when it works. No, gimmick. So he is a heel. We are changing his gimmick to forced heel. He came out talking about, like, a typical good guy. He's like, I'm going to do it. I'm better than everybody else, but that's because I'm going to be the typical, like, I'm going to win, I'm going to do it, you're going to believe in me. But there's an underlying tone of desperation that's in his voice. There's a little bit of worry in Tim Storm. And he's going to start turning into a forced heel. He's a heel that thinks he's a face. Or, well, more specifically, he's a face that is going to start doing heelish things to win because he's desperate. It's just all he's ever wanted. And if he can't keep up with the changing tide of the NWA and he has to retire, he won't know who he is anymore. And that's going to lead to some desperate moments for him. And that's why he's a forced heel now. Now, another exhibition match is sort of kind of premier Eli Drake. He's fighting Ryan Namath, who's sort of one of our up-and-comers. So he's just one of our jobbers that has a lot of potential, though. Extremely short match, 5 minutes with a pinfall. Got a good rating, a D, which is actually going to be pretty good for us. How the rating system works in TEW is depending on your regional size. Your rating scale is a little bit different. I think the maximum that we can get in regional might be like C+. So this is like a pretty decent, average match, I guess, for us. I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's how the rating system works. It's a little weird. Oh, man, Eli, your gimmick of being an old school heel sucks. That's kind of surprising, because you're kind of great at being a heel. All right. The crowd got the match, I can't talk. The match got the crowd hotter, which is good. And announcing quality lifting the match, which is good. Eli Drake got a D+. Obviously, Ryan Namath got an E, which makes sense why we're at a D. Good showing for him, though, I think. Now he comes out, and he cuts a promo after the match, after he beat him, at Tim Storm, basically saying, you think you are going to be the next, challenger for the belt. I have newsflash for you. I'm here. You are a relic. So a little heelish, kind of calling him out, which is only going to fuel Tim Storm's desperation going forward, I think, as, newer, younger competitors start coming from other brands and start, coming in here and challenging, and he's completely outclassed, basically. This is a match between Candice LeRae and Rachel Ellering, and this is actually the first of a qualifier match between all of the women's division for the vacant women's championship. And this match was terrible. Oh, man. Candice LeRae defeated Rachel Ellering in 7 minutes by pinfall with a heartbreaker. It got a D-. Candice LeRae got a good gimmick with the Girl Next Door. Ellering got above average, so that's good. But, man, I'm really surprised at how bad that was. That's a shame. Match did get the crowd hotter, though, which is kind of interesting. So, Candice LeRae then moves on into qualifier between all the women's division, basically kind of moving to the semifinals of this tournament. But as she's coming back from the match, out of the ring, Tanel, a.k.a. Emma, comes out, and as Candice LeRae is celebrating, she jumps her from behind and beats her down. So, Tanel also has a Girl Next Door gimmick. but a little bit of a evil side, I guess, of that. I guess the evil girl next door. And she's got a rating of great. You know, this didn't really do much, but kind of does set up here for us, you know, some of the simmering tensions between Tenel and LeRae. Very likely that, you know, Tenel is going to have a good opportunity to get into the semifinals to face her, and she is taking it out on her now and letting her know, you know, she is not to be trifled with. Now we leave from that to a video segment from Josephus, which he sermonizes backstage about the future of the flock and ominously says, "It will grow." So this got a poor rating, and Josephus's entertainment score is not horrible, but I'm not surprised that he didn't do as well here. We might have to look at maybe finding a manager in the future that can help him boost this. But, ominous call out, we don't know how it will grow or who he is targeting, but he is out there. And we do have a gimmick change for him, which for some reason he was set as a face. Obviously, well, we're also going to have to change his gimmick to give him something. So let's complete the turn. And that's fine. And below average for his occult gimmick. That's a shame. But we will work with it. Alright, this is just another exhibition match, a little tag team action, since this was originally going to be for the tag team belts, but all of my tag team contenders seem to be injured. So that went great. So what we have here is the Bruiserweights versus CJ Robinson and Jimmy Jacobs. That's Juice Robinson. We named him CJ in here. I don't want to get New Japan to sue me. So it's a terrible match, unfortunately. Bruiserweights, though, defeated CJ and Jimmy Jacobs in 11 minutes. Corey Hollis defeated CJ Robinson by submission with a satellite crossface after blatantly cheating. And Jimmy Jacobs carried the match in terms of in-ring performance. So, you know, E+ for Sky, or E- for Skyler, E for Hollis, D- for Jimmy Jacobs, and E- or E+ for CJ. You know, CJ and Jimmy Jacobs showed excellent chemistry teaming together. That's interesting. Well, you know what? We need some tag team people. Maybe this is a group. You know, maybe this is the Jacobs and Juice connection starting to grow. That's interesting. That's good to know. And you know what? CJ could learn a lot from Jimmy Jacobs. So we have a little angle after here. They've just won the victory, and they're just celebrating in their ring, kind of being assholes. Not that surprising. The Bruiserweights are assholes. So nothing specific about here. Not a great rating. Man, not a lot of low ratings in this show so far. Hopefully the last half of it really picks it up. Here we go. Nick Aldis comes out, and he has an interview hyping up his upcoming singles match against James Storm. So he has a title shot at the end, or he has a title defense against James Storm, a tough competitor, a former member of Impact Wrestling like Aldis. And Aldis is just coming out and saying, "Hey, I'm going to beat him. This is my first title match, title defense of the new year. I'm going to show you that the new year is all about Nick Aldis." The crowd got hotter from it. Potential future face turn for Aldis were hinted at during the segment, which is good because we are actually going to turn him face. He was scheduled to be, you know, a cocky heel. That's fine, but I think we need a face as the leader of NWA. And maybe that changes in the future, but for now, I think he'll do good here. All right, we have another, just a sort of an exhibition match. We have Will Ospreay versus Bull James. Got a D. It's about to hit subpar wrestling, a little heat. Will Ospreay defeated Bull James in 10 minutes with a pinfall and a 630 splash. That would have been cool to see. Ospreay got a Thrill Seeker gimmick that's got above average. Very good for Bull. I mean, I you know, honestly, I loved Bull Dempsey in NXT even before his comedy gimmick. I think he's got a good look, different style. I thought he was a decent wrestler. Obviously, he's rated a little low here, but I think we could improve him. I think he might be a good lower mid-card to even mid-card barrier for us if we build him up. But I needed to move Ospreay up in the ladder. I needed to give him a nice win, and this was an easy way to do it. And, you know, I think that worked okay. I think a D's about what we expected from that. E from terrible match with Tim Storm or Rory Gulak. You know, they're both rated about the same, and this is a shame, but We still need to use Tim Storm. We still need to give him something here. Gulak's gimmick got rated awful. I'm sorry, bud. Oh, man. Alright, well, that's what that is, I guess. Let's move on. So we got Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan versus DJ Hyde. Got a D- rating. That's not great. Sami defeated DJ in 15 minutes with a lariat. You know, he got an awful gimmick for himself. That's it didn't click, which I find that surprising. But oh no, oh DJ, oh Sami just broke your ribs. Holy crap! Well, no wonder the crowd's buzzing, because that must have looked brutal. The crowd is buzzing. You know, despite the match being pretty poor, they were hot for it. It was a like kind of garbage, just mayhem match. Oh man, DJ, I'm sorry, dude. Yeah, I know. I bet. Oh, that's not good. But the match is over. You know, DJ's getting carted off with that broken rib, and Sami Callihan is celebrating. And Josephus comes out, jumps him from behind, and beats him down, and stands over his body. Brought the crowd down a little bit, because I guess people don't like Josephus. But we now know Josephus is targeting Sami Callihan. Possibly, could it be to join Josephus's flock? I think so. And finally, our final match of the night got a C rating. It's Nick Aldis versus James Storm for the championship. Good heat, decent wrestling, 22-minute show. Makes defense number 3 to NWA World Heavyweight title as Nick Aldis retains the match. You know, D+ from Aldis. Like I said, he's got potential. I think we can move him up. And James Storm got a C rating. This match did pretty well here. I'm not surprised. And that ended the show. It increased our popularity in 11 regions. Is not bad. That pulled it out. That's a better rating than I thought based on those early freaking matches there. But I guess Nick Aldis and James Storm really put on a clinic at the end and helped us out. We're gonna make a speech. I need to. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, DJ. I'm gonna give you a hug. Not too hard though, because your rib's broken. CJ, give you some encouragement. Who else did good in here that we need to call out? I think we need to just point them out as a good example. Just make them feel good. Some of these guys had a rough night tonight. DJ's pleased. CJ's pleased. Josephus is pleased. That's all good. Oh, I don't want to look at our money, but we're going to have to. I have a feeling we spent a lot here. All right. Let's take a look. Not bad, actually. What did we make? $43,000 in ticket sales. And the show only costed about, like, 30. I mean, this production's high, but that's because we had to increase our production between episodes here. That's actually not bad. All right. Well, I think that's a good first show for the NWA. We see where some of it's going. We have 2 weeks, 13 days until the next show, which is the Road to Championship Wrestling. And we will see where it takes us. But I think if we keep stuff up like that, NWA is going to be a force to reckon with. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.